Santana building, man. Thanks for tuning in, you guys. This is an interview, man, I always wanted to do. I'm with my neighbor here. His name is Dean Williams. I call him Dino, Big Dino in the building, man. Young Santana, thanks for tuning in again. We pretty much is gonna have a discussion on what we usually have discussions on. And a lot of people don't really understand why would somebody like me choose to take such an extreme route such as semen retention for an extended period of time. But I do talk to this man right here. Very brilliant, older guy. You guys already know I'm a brilliant young guy, so you guys get to see those generations actually interact with each other right here, man. Thanks for tuning in. Big Dino, man, say what's up to all the supporters.
Hey, everybody, what's going on? Hey.
Before we start, man, I want to say shout out to Los Angeles, man. Shout out to Houston, Texas. Shout out to all of Chicago. Shout out all of New York City. I got people out in Cape Town, South Africa, but I got 3 different guys, man. Thanks for those DMs and Instagram. Really excited about, growing the channel organically with you guys, and thanks for tuning in again. Shout out Cape Town, South Africa too. London, England. Big shout out, Big London, man. Big England, bro. I'm gonna be out there soon enough, man. I really gotta start traveling and stuff again. In Miami, I got people out in South Carolina and North Carolina, man. Shout out to you guys. Thanks for tuning in. Let's get into it. So, Big Dino, man. What's good? Hey.
Everything's good, man.
Cool. So what you think about the concept of semen retention, and like what you really think about that? Like, have you ever came across that growing up?
Through the years, I've heard various things about semen retention. Number one, being an athlete, when I was growing up, I was on the basketball court, and I grew up in an era where I was into boxing and following boxing. I wasn't boxing myself. So it was a couple guys that we followed, and they made a commitment that they could not indulge in sexual activity. And if they did, it would be detrimental to them if they were boxing, and the other guy, let's say, he's retaining, he's abstinent, and he's doing what his coach tells him to do, and that's to refrain from having sexual activity.
Yeah.
So I thought it was ridiculous. I was a young guy, I was about 19 years old, and I said, to me, I had a girlfriend, we couldn't keep our hands off each other, and I thought that it was making me stronger to have sex with my woman.
Yeah.
So one day I went out, I was with her that night, that morning, and my buddies came by and they said, come on, Dino, let's go play some ball. So I got on the court, man, I felt like a lion because I had already did my thing with her. So I'm thinking like, I'm the shit, right?
Yeah.
Then I get on the court, I do a couple of quick ball handle moves, I lose the guy, and I go to shoot my jump shot. I'm like, 2. Man, that ball was short. It didn't even hit the rim.
Yeah.
And I was like, I didn't understand why. I shot it like I normally do.
Right.
My mechanics was right. And I kept playing, and as far as me being athletic, I still was that. But every time I shot from distance, the ball came up short.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden I started thinking, wait a minute, there must be something to this thing. I said, these guys are professional boxers, and they're telling these guys to refrain from sexual activity because it can hurt their performance. And I'm thinking, well, they don't know what they're talking about, but these guys are getting paid millions to box. I'm just a kid playing basketball, and I'm like, come on, that's just something they tell the boxers so, they can focus on the contest, the upcoming boxing match, and keep your mind off your woman, keep your mind focused on the fact that you're getting ready to be in a boxing match. You can make millions if you win. So anyway, I found out that it was true.
Yeah.
That you can indulge in sexual activity and it weakens you.
Yeah. Now, okay, so like, you seen me, like I remember when I first told you about when I did it, like, I was so nervous, I was like low key on some like, why would I even tell you? Like, it's no significance. But you saw me kind of like, not actively dating, but once a female popped up in my life, I would go into it. you know, this man was the one that actually seen me. You saw me go into these type of situations, but once you found out I was on semen retention, man, and I was committed, like something had to, you know, there was some type of like, nah.
Well, no, not exactly. I felt like
not like that I can't. Not that it was a bad thing. Like nah, he not really committed to it. He's whacking off. He's fucking watching pornography. Like not that. It's like it's no way in hell this young, vital fucking, you know, with all this energy, young man is like having trouble with women out there. So what really was it like?
Thank you. First of all, I did not think it was impossible because I was 32 years old in my life and I was going through stuff and I felt like, you know what, before I get into another relationship, I need to heal myself from the previous relationship. And so I went a whole year, over a year, without any sexual activities and when I felt no masturbation, nothing. And when I met a young lady and she wanted to get involved, I was like, well, no, I'm really not interested in a relationship right now. She says, why not? I said, because nobody's hurting me and I'm not hurting anybody right now.
Exactly.
So I refrained.
Right.
And so when I finally did meet a lady who I felt like she may be the one, it worked out for quite some time. We didn't get married, but it was a very solid relationship, very positive, and I'm glad that I got involved with that particular young lady.
All right, so I remember you told me you went 6 years without any form of sexual release. Take us through that. Like, did you see any major changes?
Well, that was a situation that was what most guys don't experience. I made a mistake and I was incarcerated. Incarcerated for 6 years. It was involving a lady, by the way. And so there was, bottom line, you know, cut to the chase.
Yeah.
I was incarcerated for 6 years. Right. And so, when the first week I was locked up, a guy walks up to me and said, hey man, you need some pictures. I said, pictures for what? He said, pictures, you know, you're gonna need to relieve yourself, bro. You know?
See, I know what you continue, but see, that's what my channel, people, all right, so people don't understand, man. He was saying, the guy came up to him and was like, yeah, dude, we're humans, like, right, we're human. This is what us men, we're human, this is what you need, this is what you're gonna, you know, you're gonna masturbate. This is the norm. And that's why people that's why my channel is actually growing, because that's not wrong. That's actually, it's arguable. And that's why, you know, like, there's so many of us just creating content about this, but it's not one reliable source we can go to and say, okay, that's true. It's just a cluster of creators that's coming to this one platform called Semen Retention, and we all experiencing the exact same benefits. But yeah, see, that's the norm out there, to watch pornography, to release, to the point where you fall back. Well, continue, what happened? So what happened after he said, yeah man, this material, you didn't have a sexual release or anytime you want? What was that? What was the process?
Well, I felt that I lost my freedom, and the lady who I was involved with was promiscuous. She was fooling around me. I took it the wrong way, I took it hard, and so now I've lost my freedom, I'm incarcerated, and now I've been reduced to living in a cell, whacking off. She's living a full life. She got a boyfriend, the guy, same guy who she was with before I got locked up, was the same guy she continued to be with to this day.
Yeah.
And I did not want to reduce myself to an individual that had to look at a 5-inch picture and say, I'm fucking the shit out of this bitch.
Yeah.
You know, I have to use my imagination and do all that.
Right.
So I chose to not get involved.
Yeah.
So when I came home, I felt like a whole man, because I did not have to think about the memories of being incarcerated and I'm sitting up in the cell jacking off, I'd have more respect for myself.
Exactly, man. I'm gonna elaborate on that because a lot of people think, oh, he committed to a life of celibacy, he committed to abstaining from sex, he must be against women, he must be against females, he must don't like them. And y'all see on my channel all the time, man, I cuss, I'll be like, yeah, bitch, and yeah, females, yeah, hoe, and all of this. But it's not even that. It's not I'm running away from him or I'm against anything. It's just that I'm for something else, if that makes sense. It's like, there's no malicious intent when it comes to committing to bettering yourself. And like you were saying, like, bro, like, I'm about to reduce myself to this shit while I'm locked up in this female, she out there still lit. I'm this low. So that's kind of, and all guys out there eventually ask themselves when they watching pornography, when they, not even pornography, just when they feeling lustful, when they find themselves in that dark place and they really addicted to pornography and all just addicted to sex. All men eventually ask themselves that. So yeah, man, 6 years of completely abstaining from all forms of sexual abuse. You were forced to do it. Guys like us on YouTube.
It wasn't forced because I couldn't masturbate.
Yeah.
It was my choice not to do that.
Right.
You know, and so because I had done it when I was your age, 32 years old, I didn't have sex for a whole year. I was just like, okay, well, I'll just do what I did then, you know. And I was able to do it. You know, it wasn't really a big deal.
Right. All right. So we're about to go to another part, man. At some point, you said, what are the benefits of you committing to such a lifestyle? What did I tell you? You don't remember what I told you? Just like you remember the athletes back then committed to it for performance purposes. That's exactly why people like me are taking over. You know, we took the vow of celibacy. So to actually utilize that energy for something else other than procreation. Like I said in another video out there, man, see, we all eventually come to this crossroad where it's either going to procreate or just create anything else other than that, in a sense. But the biggest point I want to talk about in this particular interview is, like, I want to be in a relationship. I want to get married. I want to have kids. And now that I'm on semen retention, and it's over a year now, guys, I have options. I have the option to do that. But I'm so gliding through my life so effortlessly. At times I feel like, you know, don't fix it if it ain't broke. Don't fix it if it's not broke type of concept. Like, what you think about it? Like, I'm such a young crowd of young men that's coming to these exact same conclusions, even without content creators. Like, what you think from your generation?
Well, I remember when you first told me, and I said, well, how long are you going to abstain from sexual activity? You said for the rest of my life.
Why you say it like that?
I was like, huh?
Yeah.
Okay, so that means you're going to sustain. That means you're going to go through your entire youth without, you know, being involved in a relationship where there's sexual contact. You know, that means you're not going to marry, you're not going to have children. Do you think that might be something you would regret as you get older? Because, you know, as you get older, you know, the time to grow up with your kids has passed you by.
Yeah.
So it's like, so why are you sustaining for the rest of your life? And I was just curious about that.
Man, I'm gonna answer that not only for you being on, bro, but for all of you guys out there, man, that don't really understand why would someone like me actually commit to it, especially at a young age. I actually committed to it when I was 27, but I didn't start taking it serious until I was like 31. So I'm gonna tell you, man, like in the past from the age of 11 all the way to the age of 26 years old, I was completely 100% sexually active all the time. From the time I was 11, before puberty, I was in a committed, deep relationship. Sexually active. My mom would give me condoms and shit. It was crazy. People wouldn't understand it. Like, all my cousins, all of my uncles, the guy that taught me how to tie my shoe was just 2 years older than me, and he'll always have a pack of condoms and be like, yeah man, make sure you and your girl, and I'm 11 years old. So from the age of 11 to the age of 26, I was completely destroyed and just consumed with having sex, right? So it ruined damn near all of my teens, all of my teens, and damn near all of my 20s. So that's really why I initially took the oath. Now that I'm 31, I'm 31 plus, I'm 33 years old today. Now that I'm 33, I can see now that I don't have to run away from sex anymore. I don't have to run away from pornography. I don't have to run away. I'm not running away anymore because I've conquered that lower part of myself, if that makes sense. Now I'm running towards something. Now I can see I can utilize this for something else. I can utilize this energy for something completely different from what I was doing at first when I was hyper-indulgent. And I didn't have it all. I lived in Japan before. I lived in North Carolina. I've been to Florida. Now I'm in Chicago, all throughout Houston. I can call up people from probably, which is Baltimore. I had a white bitch out in Baltimore. I can call her right now and be like, yeah, I'm on my way. I'm flying out. I can call people from Houston and be like, yeah, I'm on my way. And they'll be like, yeah, we ready for you right now. My legs open. So that's the reputation I had, with females.
But you're gonna answer the question why you said the rest of your life becomes such a thing.
Because the thing that I'm running towards is so worth it. Like that's why. And I wake up every day and I'm like, damn, today I can just stop today. I can just go back to just whacking off all fucking day if I want to. I can call up a female today. And every single morning I wake up, I have that option. So, but the thing I'm running towards now is so worth it. That presence. I walk inside of a room and everybody suddenly stops what they're doing. When I talk, when I'm in my job, everybody be quiet. It's crazy, like the power, the presence I have with this type of journey. It's just, I've never had it before, especially, growing up. And this is nothing out of the ordinary either. It's just simple testosterone. Testosterone is built up so high, so much within a short period of time. I don't want to give it up. Yeah. So that's really why such an extreme statement such as going my whole life with it. It seems worth it at this moment.
So what are you running towards where you want to make this a lifelong commitment?
I don't even know, man. Destiny. That's like the first thing that popped in my head. Destiny. But I feel like I can create that destiny. Before I've taken this commitment, I never felt this type of control over my life. People and these young guys out there hit me up every day that's coming to these same conclusions.
Can you tell me some of the benefits that I could enjoy if I decide to do the same thing? It's like I could improve in these areas as opposed to not improving in these areas or struggling in certain areas because I'm not retaining.
Yeah, man, focus. Ultimately, there's something called brain fog. When you just masturbating, you're having sex all the time, you don't have that clarity of mind, if that makes sense. That's the number one, if you ask me, the clarity of mind. I wake up every morning and I know exactly what I need to be doing at that very moment. And it's videos out there that show like me actually finding money and shit. Because I just happen to always be at the same place. I mean, at the right place at the right time. So another benefit is this. I'm now asking the tough questions in life. Like, is life happening to me, or am I making life happen? So now I've never had this type of philosophical point of view when it comes to my life, you know, in terms of, is something controlling me, or am I controlling it? Right? If you think about the passive route, is life already written out and I'm just playing it out, God's plan, or is it more of a scientific route where reality isn't even happening until you look at it? So that type of, I'm on these type of frequencies when it comes to thinking, and I've never had that. One of the other benefits that's actually measurable is that I have this unbelievable drive to actually get shit done, to be productive. And before I took the oath back in 2017, I didn't have that. I really didn't have it. If I hadn't taken the vow to remain abstinent back in 2016, back in 2017, I wouldn't even be here talking to you today because I didn't have the funds to actually move to Chicago. So yeah, man, it's really, and it's other benefits like the female attraction, like the eye contact. It's like in the morning time, you feel this just burst of testosterone running through everything. I mean, it's inexplicable. And all of my guys out there, I get comments about it all the time. Like, yeah, man, I have this. I feel like I'm gonna explode some mornings. And it's only in the morning time when this happens too. I guess the sun arises from the darkness actually brings something out of us as men. That nobody. It is so uncommon. Everyone's out there masturbating. So when I step inside the room, it's like a domestic dog meeting an undomesticated dog. I'm considered the undomesticated animal. When I walk inside of the presence of men, of normal men, common men out there, I'm immediately secluded. It's because they're all domesticated. So that I'm relating to that. That's the best way to relate.
What benefits? Because you get to rambling and you're not saying, okay, A, B, C, D. You say the same thing. These are the benefits of this versus that. Okay, so I've experienced these benefits. When I wasn't, this is what happened.
Right, clarity of mind. If I can put it in just three main clear phases. Number one, clarity of mind, focus. Number two, the drive, the energetic drive, the physical, measurable results when it comes to how physically ready I am, right? And the third one is the magnetism. Yeah. So those are the three things, magnetism.
See, if you're going right away, okay, that's one of the definite benefits of semen retention is this. Right. Physically, and I'm going to tell you something else, mentally, you're sharp. Let me tell you why. Right. You give them something that they can talk to somebody else about. It's like, look, this is what I picked up in about 5 minutes from watching this video.
Yeah. See, but it's so immense. Like the benefits it's like an unfolding. It's like reading a book, and the more you read throughout the book, the clearer and clearer of the benefits they become. So every man out there is his own man. So my benefits can only be explained from what's happening in my life right now. It's like a documentary. Actually, the whole my whole YouTube channel is kind of like a documentary of what happens to a man after going an extended period of time without having sex. And it's myths out there that say, oh, they're losers, they're at home, guys like him can't get females. That's why they choose to label themselves as celibates and abstaining for a long period of time because he's lame. He just can't get a female. So my channel, guys like us, we're considered like losers. Like I had this guy talking about semen retention. Yeah, that's for losers, right? Like that's the thing that people would call it simps. Those are simps. And it's like people don't really understand semen retention has always been normal just until about 50 to 60 years ago. We didn't have pornography readily available at our fingertips 100 years ago. But if you look at 100 years ago, we evolved as human beings. The whole human race evolved so fast within a small period of time. But as soon as pornography became readily available, you'll see it kind of stagnant. Now technology still moved higher, but no, it didn't accelerate like it once did. It went from dirt roads to skyscrapers. Now we're from skyscrapers to barely hitting airplanes. Now they're barely attempting to take the wings off of airplanes. When in all actuality, we should be having bullet trains. It's not even a bullet train in the United States. But in Japan, the most technologically advanced civilization there is, now they've been up for 2 years, is bullet trains over the entire landscape. So, and they rarely have sex. If you look at their birth rates, they have 0 babies. So nobody out there is having sex. Look, their technology is like light years away.
Would you say they're not having it, or the government like in China?
China and Japan, too.
I know, I'm saying, in China, they're not allowed to have more than, before they just changed the law recently, but it was a time when they could only have 2 kids because the population was exploding to the point where they said we can't take care of population because you're having too many kids. So for 30 years, they only could have 2 kids.
I remember that.
So that was the reason population control.
But Japan, they're literally dying off. Like their government is saying, yeah, we need people we need immigration now. We got bullet trains everywhere, we're technologically advanced, our currency is strong, but our population is dying. Within the next 20 years, people won't even know how a Japanese person will look. Semen retention is different for every man, but the one thing every guy would always, we all agree on is that we come into these insights, we come into these epiphanies more and more often the longer we retain. And that right there is the main benefit why the Nikola Teslas of the world retain. Why Leonardo da Vinci, Carl Jung, Freud.
You want to talk about just the average guy, we're none of them people. So it's like, dude, I can't relate to that. It's like, I'm not none of those people, I'm the average guy.
The main reason why, and I'm glad you asked this, the main reason why the average guy out there consider semen retention for about a year or so is because they want to get laid. Because they want to have sex. They want to attract the female that they always want. And through people like me, through channels like me, they see that, okay, this motherfucker's not a loser. Because he has these stories. I tell them stories about female attraction. And if you type in semen retention, female attraction, you will see a slew of creators that saying, damn man, she grabbed a dick today. I walked by and she just slid me in a cell phone. Like, I was like, you know, it's shit like that. So that the main reason why the common man today want to have semen retention for an extended period of time is because they can no longer be ignored by the woman they desire. That's what's happening.
Because they're not jacking off.
Right. It's crazy. It's so crazy. Now, the way you look right now is like, damn, this one thing, I just gotta change this one thing and I get all of this. That's how uncommon this is now. Just within 2 generations, one generation is 20 years. So just 3 generations, 60 years ago, semen retention was everywhere. So it took 60 years just for semen retention to be formed. I feel like I'm talking a different language here. You know, especially to the people I know, my family, I get phone calls all the time from them. They're like, now what's your channel's about? What's a semen? People don't even know what semen is. People think sperm is semen. But these are 2 completely different things. Semen comes from sperm. Sperm comes from semen. You know, semen is the cerebral spinal fluid. But no, man, I'm glad we finally got a chance to do this. You actually asking a lot of questions that young guys like that really want to know. I'm gonna wrap this up the right way, you guys, man. Big shout out to Dino, man. Thanks for tuning in, man. Comment down below, like the video, hit those thumbs up, man. I'm always gonna ask you guys to hit those thumbs up so we can beat the algorithm. Guys out there really need to hit these type of conversations. And Dino, man, he's unfiltered. He always 100%. It's not on no like weird shit, like we fucking men, bro. Like and I wish, like, I didn't have a dad growing up. So when I meet guys that's willing to talk about this shit, I'm like, yo, you know, let's like, I'm having this problem, like, help me with this. I need advice. I need, you know, I'm young. It's no instructions written about this shit in life. But once we start communicating, you know, we can have some type of guidance throughout our journey, man. And it's tough out there. You guys know about, you know, what I'm talking about when it comes to just, you know, controlling those lower urges. Anything you want to tell them before we go?
Well, I think once you explore some of the benefits you talked about, and just reframing from using that as an outlet and retaining, you'll get to know yourself a little bit better. You'll actually become best friends with yourself.
Exactly.
Instead of, you know, you got this picture, you masturbate, you're whacking off, but now you're spending time away from that, so it gives you a chance to figure out another way to get to know yourself.
Yeah. There you have it, man. I couldn't have said it any better. You guys know my slogan, though, man. We gotta end this the right way. In this life, you are all you have, but you're more than enough. If you hadn't heard it from anywhere else, you heard it from me first. The ones not.